I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm gonna win, but you better believe I'll be in that top 3. Where in that top 3 I'll be? I guess we'll wait and see.
Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we will talk about whether Nick Walker can or cannot win the freaking Mr. Olympia this year. So we got a couple of really interesting statements from Nick Walker himself and some other people, but we're also gonna try and compare Nick Walker to the very best in the world to see where this guy can actually land. Now, after the Pittsburgh Pro, I think most of us changed our minds about Nick. A lot of us were very doubtful, but he showed up looking his best ever. He proved to us that he can improve, that he can grow his legs, that he can come in even bigger than he was and more conditioned, and that he can control his midsection. There isn't a lot of time until the Mr. Olympia, but it's probably plenty of time for Nick to improve. I think he definitely can get even better, especially with posing, specifically with his abdominal control. So I am expecting to see an even improved version of Nick Walker at a Mr. Olympia. He already skipped 2 Mr. Olympias, guys, so we can be sure that he is going to give it all he's got for the next Mr. Olympia. And now with his new coach, a coach that actually pays attention to their clients, I think he's going to deliver something really special to the Mr. Olympia. Now, let's talk numbers. Let's actually compare him to the top 8 of the world. Why top 8? Because Bob Cicarillo said that he is going to place 8. I know who the F is Bob, nobody cares about his opinion, but this is pretty popular thing out there, and Bob is comparing Nick to Beck Rustabani, to Andrew Jack, to Martin Fitzwater. Listen to this.
Now, here's the next batch of 3. Andrew, Beirut, and Fitzwater. Those are 3 guys that, again, at 100%, I think it would be challenging for Nick to get past them because every one of those guys is shaped better, put together better, don't have stomach issues, and present a very formidable physique. So that's why I got him. And again, I'll move him up to 7th place, in my opinion. Listen, can somebody come in off? Well, of course they can. That's why we play the game.
Does this make any sense, what Bob is saying? No, I don't think so. I mean, sure, Andrew Jack is really good, but Martin beat him at a Mr. Olympia, and Andrew Jack is very rarely on. The same thing goes about Martin Fitzwater. He is usually off. I mean, he was off at Pittsburgh and he was off last year at Prague Pro, especially the pre-judging. So he is not exactly the most consistent guy. We don't know what to expect from him, but even if he is 100%, he was basically really on at New York Pro last year, and Nick was horribly off, and Nick still beat him. Nick also beat Andrew Jack at the Arnold Classic, and I do think Nick is a much better bodybuilder than Andrew Jack. Maybe Andrew beats him in the front double, or I don't know, absent eyes, maybe, but like from the side and from the back, Nick kills Andrew Jack.
And what do you think of Andrew?
I mean, Andrew's never really come close to me.
Even though Andrew Jack improved over the years, it's just still, the conditioning from the back, the glutes, the hamstrings, the size of the hamstrings, the size of the back, and like his thickness in the side poses, it's just not good enough against these top guys. He can't really win in those lineups. I mean, he has the tools, but he needs to put on a lot more muscle, especially in the legs. Hamstrings need to grow a lot, legs overall, glutes need to be more separated, back could also be bigger, and his front to back thickness in the side poses can be a lot better. So therefore, I don't see Andrew Jack beating Nick Walker, no way. And I'm not hating on Andrew. I mean, he's a phenomenal bodybuilder. He has one of the most pleasing physiques in the world right now, but he's not exactly a top 4 bodybuilder in my opinion. He's in that second call out with guys like Martin, and I would agree, Beck Rustabani for sure if he gets to the US. This guy has all the tools he needs to get into that first call out of the Mr. Olympia and potentially even win the Mr. Olympia someday if he keeps improving. But let's face it, I mean, so far he was bad battling against Nathan Diasha. He lost to William Bonac. So even though he is great, he is phenomenal, and I would love to see him at a Mr. Olympia, I think he would still be in that second call out. I don't think he's ready yet to go against guys like Samson, Derek, Hadi, and Nick Walker. So in my opinion, Nick Walker is definitely in that top 4. And all this stuff Bob Cicarillo is saying, the guy is just contradicting himself constantly. So here he said in a podcast with Sean Ray, I believe, and they quoted him on this page, Instagram page, Bison Tries. So he said, if you can't beat Mr. Olympia, in this case Derek Lunsford, at his worst, what makes you think you can beat him at his best? And yeah, sure, this is a valid argument, but right after the Pittsburgh, Bob said that he thinks Derek was the same as he was in the Arnold Classic, maybe 1% worse. And now he says Derek is at his all-time worst. What the hell, man? And look, I'm not even saying that Derek was at his best. He was not. His legs were way down in size. He was definitely better, fuller in the legs, mainly at the Arnold Classic, but that's the only thing. Conditioning-wise, size-wise, in the upper body and all that, he was good. Much better than last year's Mr. Olympia, so definitely not at his worst. And also, in my opinion, Nick won this show. And that's not even just my opinion, that's everybody's opinion, including Tyler Mannion. He explained how Derek might have won this, and yes, the judges voted for Derek, majority of them, I guess, but no, everybody had Nick winning, including Tyler once again, so in my opinion, what Nick brought to Pittsburgh was better than Derek. And I'm guessing they gave it to Derek because he is a Arnold Classic champion of this year and he won the Mr. Olympia once, so they kind of let him slide with this, but if Derek repeats this kind of shape, this kind of asymmetry with the lower and upper body, if he doesn't bring his absolute best at a Mr. Olympia, and Nick does, I think Nick is going to beat Derek at a Mr. Olympia for sure. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's definitely a possibility. What about the other two guys, Samson and Hadi Choopan?
I'm always going to say Hadi. I think me and Hadi are extremely comparable in every way, shape, or form. And I think if he comes in at 100 and I'm in at 100, it's going to be a battle.
And I absolutely agree with this. These guys are very comparable. Both short, but not exactly super aesthetic. Who is more aesthetic? Hadi, for sure. Hadi is definitely way more aesthetic, but he does lack some things that Nick absolutely has in spades. For example, I think Nick is definitely winning the side shots, especially the side chest, because of the side leg of Nick. Hadi's side leg is not exactly the biggest, the widest, especially the last year's Mr. Olympia. Is that something that's happening to Hadi's body with age, or was it just that one prep because he did too much cardio? And also he was prepped by Hani Rambert, and Hani was also kind of losing focus of his competitors. So now I don't know who's going to be prepping Hadi. That's also a big question mark. Who is his next coach? Is it going to be Hani Rambert again? I don't think so. Is it going to be one of the Kuwait coaches, or is Hadi going to prep himself? We don't know who's going to prep Hadi. But let's say he brings 100%. Is he still going to be able to beat Nick? I mean, so far, Nick never beat Hadi, but Nick improved significantly. And again, Hadi does have better aesthetics, like his stomach, his midsection is phenomenal. He can hold that deep vacuum. Even though he's a little bit blocky, he knows how to control that midsection perfectly, and he creates a pretty good V taper. So I think he's going to win, like the abs and thighs, the front double for sure. Like I said, the side shots, I don't think so because Nick is too thick. And I don't think Hadi stands a chance in the back poses. Nick is going to kill him in those. When Hadi was really 100% on at the Arnold Classic, his back looked also pretty good. Like his hamstrings were in, his glutes were in, his back looked very good when it was lean. But we don't know if he's going to bring that again. He brought that kind of conditioning probably once in his life, and that was a phenomenal package. But is he going to be able to deliver that? If he does, then I have him above Nick. But if he doesn't, if he's a little bit worse, then it's gonna be a battle. And again, I think Nick is winning both back shots, probably both side shots, and maybe most muscular as well. So I think Nick can definitely win over Hadi. I'm not saying he's going to, but it's definitely a possibility. And finally, we are left with Samson Dauda, our reigning Mr. Olympia. That one is tricky. That one is tricky, man, because Nick beat Samson at Samson's first Mr. Olympia, and that was Nick's second. Nick was third, Samson was in sixth. That was in 2022. In 2023, Samson beat Nick at the Arnold Classic. That definitely wasn't Nick at his best. His legs were down in size significantly. And as far as Samson, that was Samson at his absolute best at that time, but Samson improved even more. He also improved his conditioning for last year's Mr. Olympia, but the thing with Samson is the guy was in shape literally once in his life. And it was last year at the 2024 Mr. Olympia. This year at the Arnold Classic, he definitely missed the mark. So the only time Samson was in decent shape, and this also wasn't like some crazy level of conditioning. This is not the level of conditioning that Derek brought to the Arnold Classic, or that Nick brought to Pittsburgh, or that Hardy brought to that Arnold Classic, or that Hardy usually brings to the Mr. Olympia. It was good conditioning for Samson. And it was decent conditioning overall, but that happened only once. If you talk about who has the best body in the world right now, then it's gotta be Samson. Nobody's that big with that height, and like nobody's that round and bubbly and just freaky. Nick has those crazy legs from behind, but Samson also has crazy width in the legs from behind, and his hamstrings are also really good, really big, really developed and shredded when he's in shape. His glutes were in at this year's Mr. Olympia, but not often. I mean, basically never, other than that one time. So there is definitely a big chance of Samson not coming in his absolute best, and if that is the case and Nick gets even better for the Mr. Olympia, comparing him to his Pittsburgh Pro or New York Pro edition, then Nick definitely has a chance of defeating Samson.
Samson's a freak. He's very overpowering. He's very big, very round, very bubbly, very muscular. But I've also become a lot bigger and more muscular, and I also always outdo him in condition. So if he doesn't come in full condition, I will be Samson too.
So overall, guys, I think we can all agree that Nick definitely does have a chance of winning the Mr. Olympia because he can beat all of the other top three guys. He can beat Derek. He beat him, in my opinion, at the Pittsburgh Pro. The judges made a mistake. It's very obvious. The whole world knows it. So hopefully this will be fixed at a Mr. Olympia. Again, if Derek doesn't bring his absolute best, Nick is going to beat him. I'm pretty sure about that. As far as Hardy, it never happened so far, but I feel like Nick is going to bring something than we ever saw so far, and I don't know if Hardy is going to be able to deliver something that good to actually challenge this right here. And as far as Samson, who the hell knows? If he nails it, he's going to beat Nick, but the chances are that Samson is going to fail because he does most of the time. Samson maybe just got lucky for that one Mr. Olympia. We'll see if him and his wife are going to be able to repeat that conditioning. They failed for the Arnold Classic, and there is a big chance they'll fail again for the Mr. Olympia. So, yeah, it's extremely difficult to predict who is going to win the Mr. Olympia, 20 weeks out. But if everything lines up, if Nick is a little bit lucky, I think he absolutely can win the Mr. Olympia, and in my prediction, I'll actually have him winning it this year because I feel like we'll see something super impressive from Nick, and it's most likely going to be enough to actually win the whole show. I think he can do it. If you guys disagree, you can tell me down below, or if you agree, you can also say down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.